You got to pay attention, okay? You got to follow him because it might get a little confusing at first. Jermell Charlo of the twin brother Charlos is the one that fought Gabriel Rosado. Jermell Charlo is the one that was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade December 13th, 2014 on the undercard of Amir Khan versus Devin Alexander. Jermell Charlo, 24-0 with 11 KOs, is more of the boxer. He's the one that's going to be taking on Mario Lozano. Lozano is basically a late replacement. Vince Martirosyan recently signed with Al Heyman at that time. I believe Lozano was Martirosyan's first fight with Al Heyman. Lozano was outboxed by Vince Martirosyan, complete shutout. He did not win one round. It was on ESPN, and I do not expect him to do the same. Remember, he is a replacement. He is a replacement. So, from what I understand, that fight was supposed to be the co-feature to Amir Khan versus Devin Alexander. Then it was supposed to be Andrade versus Jermell Charlo. Then Keith Thurman versus Bundu. And you know Maris versus Ramirez, so on and so on. You also have Jermell Charlo of the twin brothers Charlo. He's the one that's 19-0 with 15 KOs. He's more of the pressure fighter, the more fan-friendly fighter. He's the one that was supposed to fight Carlos Molina. Instead, Carlos Molina got booked for not filing to be a sex offender. Long story. But now he's fighting this guy by the name of Lini Batai, who is for basically the #1 contender for the IBF title. But we're going to save that for the Jermell Charlo video. We're going to talk about Jermell Charlo. Now, Demetrius Andrade, if I'm correct, he's 21-0 with 14 knockouts or 11 KOs. I don't remember right now. But he turned down, allegedly, well, he did turn down a career-high $300,000 not to fight Jermell Charlo of the brothers Charlo. The question is why? Now, I'm figuring to myself, and he hinted at it in a phone interview. You leave HBO, you want to come over to Showtime to be a star, basically. You want to come over to Showtime, you should be main eventing, not fighting on anyone's undercard, you know? And especially the fact that you're the only current champion fighting on that card. He's a WBO 154-pound champion, and he's fighting on an undercard. And I understand Amir Khan and Devin Alexander is much more of a draw, but I guess maybe he's going to hold out for a card of his own. Do I think he's ducking Jermell Charlo? I look at it like this. Very high risk. How much money does he expect to get in another fight, especially when, you know, you got to deal with Al Heyman fighters most likely again? I don't know. But Jermell Charlo is in a situation where, well, him and his brother are fighting in the same division. Jermell Charlo has said, no, wait, Jermell Charlo is the one that's supposed to be moving up to 160 pounds. And Jermell Charlo, the pressure puncher and more exciting fighter, is supposed to stay at 154. Demetrius Andrade wanted to get some of that 1.4 million that Peter Quillen was offered via purse bid by Rock Nation to take on Matvey Korobov, but he found out later that, including myself, we all found out that that purse bid was only for those two names, Peter Quillen and Matvey Korobov. It wasn't, you know, that somebody else could just step in and get that 1.4 million. So we was hearing a lot about him wanting to fight Matvey Korobov. You know, that didn't happen, you know, because he found out he wouldn't be getting that Rock Nation money. Long story short, he would have also had to drop his 154-pound title because something, and basically the way the WBO works is from what I'm getting from it is you can't have a title in two different divisions. Like Mayweather's the 147-pound and 154-pound WBC champion. It just doesn't work like that in a WBO. Another example is Chris Algieri is a WBO 140-pound champion, but word was he was going to be stripped for his WBO title if he would have won. Well, he would have definitely been stripped if he would have won against Pacquiao, that WBO 147-pound title, but he would have had to drop that 140, but Bob Arum worked something out, and they're working on something to the point where he's able to keep his 140-pound title, except for his next fight, he may have to fight a mandatory and not somebody of his choosing. So I say this, whatever the case may be for Andrade dropping out, I can somewhat understand. It would have been an excellent fight in which I was giving Andrade the slight edge just because, in my opinion, he's more powerful and he's the bigger fighter as far as his reach is crazy. Now, Jermell Charlo is a very, very good boxer. You know, remember, his brother, they trained with Ears Lane DeLore and Ronnie Shields. Very, very good boxer. The more skilled boxer, I'm going to say, is him. The more skilled fighter, the more entertaining fighter is his brother. So I guess it all depends on what you're looking for, but I'm going to be covering the fight live. What do I expect? I expect nothing from it. I expect nothing from it at all. Now, it's basically for nothing because remember, he's going to be fighting for the WBO title, so this guy's a late replacement. To whereas in his brother's fight, Jermell, which I'm going to do a video on that as well, is fighting for the IBF #1 contender spot, and that's going to involve Anthony Mundine maybe, but definitely K9, because remember, Jermell was supposed to fight Carlos Molina, but we're going to save that for the other video. I am T Street Controversy with Real Combat Media. This is T Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.